Well, Brazil's markets have soared by 13% over the last few months, spurred by the election of far-right incoming President Jair Bolsonaro. But will his policies boost a struggling economy? To find out, CGTN's Gibbs sat down with Vice President-elect Hamilton Mourao. He asked him how the new leadership plans to improve the country's finances.
We have, our industry has been shattered by the problems that we suffer in our economy. So we are going to spend some time until we can recover our industrial capacity. We have to invest a lot in technology because, you know, we are in the moment of the Industry 4.0. Okay? It's a different moment in the world. The association between artificial intelligence and biotechnology is coming very hard, so we have to be prepared to this. But at this very moment, okay, the agriculture production is much important because Brazil can feed the world. Okay, we can have a harvest of 3 times a year here. Okay, and so if we invest in technology in the agriculture, we can put good food in the table of everybody in this world. So I think this is a point we have to look with a very, very, very good way.
Now, Brazil can feed the world, but there may be an environmental cost to that, and much of the international coverage, really, of Bolsonaro's victory has focused on what might happen to one of the great world environmental treasures, the Amazon. You have this extraordinary resource in your country. Is the Amazon threatened by a Bolsonaro presidency?
No, never. We both come from the army. And the army is in the Amazon area, it's protecting the Amazon area. I lived there for 5 years. Okay, my father, my grandmother, they come from the Amazon area. I know that very much, we know that very much. And our agricultural production will never menace the Amazon area. We can improve our production with the land that we are already exploring. People don't have to be afraid that the Amazon area will vanish. But I think they can pay for us for keeping this in good shape.
The incoming president, however, has expressed the controversial view that protecting the forest for the sake of its indigenous inhabitants is misguided.
The indigenous people, they want to join civilization. They don't want to stay, they want to stay in the middle of a jungle without the facilities that you have today. They want to have access to television, they want to go to school, they want to go to university, they want to make money. Okay? They don't just want to stay like people that are still in the Stone Age.
Can we be sure of that?
Oh, for sure, for sure. They don't want to stay in that situation.
Contentious statements like that have led to suggestions that the tone of the Bolsonaro administration might be similar to that of the current White House. But the general said the comparison should not be overstated. His boss, he insisted, won't be a tropical Trump.
Mr. Bolsonaro has been a politician in the last 30 years. It's different from President Trump. But I think that President Trump is making a politics that's good for America. That's why he was elected. And so far as I know, people in the United States are happy with him, most people. Okay? And that's what I want to happen here in Brazil too. Mr. Bolsonaro has been elected in a wave of change. Okay? And I think the way that we are going to govern Brazil, it's going to be good for our population in general.
The most pressing regional issue in the coming months for Brazil is Venezuela, its neighbour to the north. It is in economic meltdown. The general said closing the border was out of the question, but this is how he views the migrants heading to Brazil.
Venezuelans are running away to Brazil, and the ones that are coming to Brazil are the poorest ones, because those who had more money went to the US or to Europe. I think the middle class went to Colombia and other Spanish-speaking countries that are neighbors. And here to Brazil, it's the lowest class that are coming. So it's a question of humanitarian aid. 90,000, 100,000, 150,000 Venezuelans that come to Brazil, it won't mess with us.
You're a former general, one of the very highest ranks in the Brazilian army. There are many people from a military background that are coming into this government. Many were elected to the new Congress, people are a bit concerned that this might be a sort of backdoor form of turning back the clock to a military government.
We in military, we have principles, we have values, and the population was looking for this. That's why a lot of military has been elected to Congress.